In this episode of Trailblazing Women, brought to you by the Women's Museum of California, I have the incredible honor of introducing a living legend, Roberta Tidmore, affectionately known as Randy. This real-life Rosie the Riveter and World War II U.S. Marine Corps veteran recently celebrated her 103rd birthday. Back in 2023, when she was a vibrant 101, I had the privilege of sitting down with this ultimate trailblazer to delve into her extraordinary life of service, resilience, and groundbreaking accomplishments. Her story is a testament to courage and determination, and you won't want to miss it. It was January of 1944, and the future of the world was precarious and uncertain. Although the tide of World War II had begun to turn in favor of the Allies, D-Day was still 6 months away, and the war's end was nowhere in sight. With millions of men deployed overseas, the U.S. government encouraged women to fill the labor shortage in manufacturing, especially in industries related to the war effort, like shipbuilding and aircraft production. Roberta Randolph could be called the real Rosie the Riveter, embodying the spirit of the 20 million women in the workforce during World War II, including 6 million like her, building airplane parts in a Rockford, Illinois plant. At 22, she took a bold step, joining the United States Marine Corps Women's Reserve, where she earned the nickname Randy and became one of just 18,000 active women Marines.
Well, no, those aren't the ones from Rosie. No.
The series is Trailblazing Women, and my goodness, Randy, you are the ultimate trailblazer. What was it like to be a woman Marine during World War II?
You take it in as it comes, and we had our own barracks, we had our own mess hall, we had our own training. Everything was separated, so I was an enlisted person, and that put me down one more level.
After boot camp, she began her first assignment as a driver or chauffeur for military officers, transporting them from Quantico, a Virginia Marine base, to Washington, D.C.
You know, when I was driving staff car, I would have two maybe officers in the back that I'd drive up to Washington to meetings or to lunch or to something, and I'd take them to the restaurant, and I had to sit outside. I couldn't even get in to the restaurants, most of the places, because I was enlisted. There wasn't much we could do. You weren't to associate with officers.
Randy's dissatisfaction with unequal treatment was starting to take root.
And this isn't probably nice to say, but when I was driving trucks here in San Diego, and I'd go down to the dock and have to wait for them to load my baggage on my truck, the Red Cross would come by with donuts and coffee. They wouldn't give it to women. They'd give it to any of the fellas that were on the dock, or any of the drivers, or any of the mechanics, or anybody else, but they wouldn't give us any. And so I decided that's the last time.
Randy's military driving career came to an abrupt end one day when she was driving a garbage truck.
I crossed in front of the general's car with his star uncovered. That meant that he was in the car.
And that's a sign of what, disrespect or something?
Yeah, that is a no-no. You don't cross in front of him, you don't go around his car. As long as he's in the car, you better stay away. And I just happened to go right back. across in front of him on a side street with a garbage truck.
You were driving a garbage truck?
Yes, and then I got back to finally, when I took the truck back into the garage, they called me in, and the captain said, "Randy, we're taking your license away. You crossed in front of the general's car. You can't do that. You can't drive anymore. You have office hours." And I got told that I would have 2 months of mess duty, 1 in the scullery and washing dishes, and 1 peeling potatoes.
Fortunately, Randy's potato peeling period would soon come to an end.
You start out as private, then when I went to Quantico to drive, I got 1 stripe, and then when I crossed in front of the general, they took that stripe away. And then when I came to San Diego, I got my stripe back again. And then when I took the job in San Francisco, they gave me another stripe, so I became a corporal. And I was a corporal in San Francisco until I got out of the service, and then I became a sergeant.
Randy spent a total of 2.5 years in the Marine Corps, and she's been a member of the Women's Marine Association ever since. Following military service, Tidmore worked for United Airlines as a stewardess.
And I was a little older, but I somehow passed their test. I didn't think I would, because you had to have a IQ test and a personality test that they had to pass, and a height and weight and all that.
After 15 years, many as chief stewardess, she met the love of her life, got married, and became a farmer. A tomato farmer with her husband Terry Tidmore, who served in the Navy during World War II as a pilot and instructor.
We had the best diamond tea tomatoes.
In Baja, California.
Baja, yeah. And it was good. It was a good job, and it got me here.
Here is a lifetime devoted to volunteerism and service to charitable organizations like Clipped Wings for current and former flight attendants, the Women's Marine Association, the Special Olympics, the Globe Guilders, and the Salvation Army. In fact, Roberta knows the exact moment when she decided to spend her life in service to others.
I think when I was in college, I was living in the dorm, and one night we had a party we had a truth session, and everybody that got a drink had to tell the truth, how they felt about the other. And someone said that I was so spoiled that I never did anything for anybody unless I got a return of some kind. And I've never forgotten that. I mean, that made the biggest impression of anything I can remember in my life, anybody saying anything to me. And I have always tried to do things so that they wouldn't necessarily be known, and that I wouldn't get any benefit from it, because it really affected me.
So you're saying a game of truth or dare back in the day,
Yeah.
inspired you to a life of service.
I think so. I think that's what it is.
I love
Isn't
it.
that funny?
I love it. It's great.
At the age of 99, she was honored as a Woman of Dedication by the Salvation Army.
Honey, what was it like walking down that stage with your great-grandson, who's a military man?
A Navy boy, yes. Well, I tell you, you bring tears to my eyes remembering that, because that was quite an experience. It really was. I still can't believe it.
Born in the 1920s, Randy has witnessed some of the most pivotal and challenging moments in modern history, from the hardships of the Great Depression and the global turmoil of World War II to the social upheaval of the Civil Rights Movement and the technological leaps of the space race. She has lived through transformative times. She's seen the fall of the Berlin Wall, the dawn of the digital age, and the rise of the internet. These defining events have gifted her with over a century of hard-earned wisdom and a unique perspective on the world.
We talk about what it was like to be a woman Marine back in 1944. Here we are in 2023, and women in the workplace are still fighting a battle for equality on all kinds of fronts.
Yes. I think it's wonderful that we're still fighting it. I think that I am happy to see that women aren't sitting back and taking it. And I don't think it's going to be easy now. It's still an uphill battle. It really is.
What do you do to keep busy and keep active? Is that a key component, you think, of your healthy life?
Well, yeah, because I belong to a lot of organizations, and I have a lot of friends, and they like to come and have dinner with me, and I like that. That's what's fun, you know. And
how important is connection, do you think, to a long life?
I think it's very important. If I didn't have my friend, who is here and drives me around, I'd be sitting here reading and going downhill, I'm sure.
Randy's keys to a long, happy life, chief among them is going with the flow.
I never exercised regularly. I've never drunk wine every night regularly. That's why I say the Marine Corps was so good for me, because at least I did learn to kind of follow a little more of what I was supposed to be doing at the right times of day. I sleep late. I'm not a morning person. I love to stay up at night, but then I love to sleep in too.
In August 2024, Roberta Randolph Tidmore received her greatest military honor, a plaque featuring her and her late husband Terry at the National Veterans Memorial on Mount Soledad. Terry, who passed away in 1979 from an illness, was forever memorialized alongside her.
When I died, that I would have a plaque up at Mount Soledad, and then we could have both of our pictures and our plaque put up there for us. And I'm really happy about that.
Congratulations.
But I don't know that I deserve it, but I do. I wanted it, and I got it. So that's wonderful, huh?